Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to do part 2 of the reaction to the Nes Godzilla creepypasta. Might as well leave a like just because I liked it. I know you guys saw me, put on Do Not Disturb mode. The reason is because, I don't want, any notifications to pop up. Probably, the only notification probably going to pop up is, pop up, or pronouncing it wrong, alright, storage, notification. So anyways, watch the rest.
Mummies with bird skulls that jump out of the waist to spit projectiles. There's also a brownish cow skeleton monster with spider legs.
The fuck is he looking at that?
Halfway through the level, I even saw
I
one
see
of
it
the
now.
deer from the forest. It was alone, and when I saw it, it was drinking toxic waste out of a barrel with an anteater-like tongue. I was moving over to try and make it stop, but then this flock of skullbirds came out of nowhere and started attacking. The deer was scared by this and ended up running off the ground into the...
Also, guys, before the video continues, apparently there's gonna be a sequel to the NES creepypasta. I'm just saying because, I think it was Garu that told me. Yeah, I think it was Garu, or it was my new subscriber, one of the two. If it was Garu, just tell me in the comments. If it was my new subscriber, oh, I asked if it was Garu and he said no, he's my new sub. Then, if you're a person that told me, just tell me in the comments, or I'll just look at myself on the comments of my video, but anyways.
Toxic waste. I felt bad for it. One of the birds bit me, but I regained health quickly from killing all of them. They were rather weak. I pressed onward. Of all the levels in Entropy, this was probably the most, quote, normal, in that there was little deviance from the move forward, smash things formula in the original game. I encountered more creatures through the level, like tentacle blobs and some kind
The fuck is that?
of deformed thing with human teeth. I didn't feel like provoking them into a fight, so I kept on flying near the top of the screen. I still had to deal with occasional flock of birds now and then. At the end of the level was a large bluish-green lake, and then I encountered another mini-boss.
What the hell?
Some kind of a monster with a long neck and a whale skull. It attacks with a mouth projectile and by charging into you. It also could go underneath the water and rapidly emerge from a different place. It was harder to beat than the monster from the time warp, and it had a lot of health because it must have taken me 3 minutes to defeat it. It let out a really loud noise when it died, and then sank back into the ocean as I left the screen. Back on the board, I went to the nearest level icon I haven't seen yet, which was a white tree. As I guessed, the level was a winter-themed recolor of the forest stage. But unlike the regular forest, I didn't feel unnerved starting this one. I think the music had a lot to do with it. It was a gentle, calm song. It almost sounded romantic.
Yeah, the music that's playing up is from Godzilla's Bioanti.
It was quite stress-relieving, and the forest itself looked much less ominous, covered in snow. I traveled through the first segment, enjoying the atmosphere for 4 minutes. When suddenly I realized something. I haven't seen a single creature since I started the level. Where are all the animals? Soon after, I left the screen, and the next segment started. In the second segment, I was still in the winter forest, but now the music was gone. I was starting to feel suspicious, but then I reminded myself that there were other empty levels in the game, and this was like another one of those. But then I heard something familiar. It was the 12-second looping music from Unforgiving Cold starting up. I could feel my heart sink as I came across this horrible sight. It was a whole group of dead deer creatures.
What the fuck?
Covered in snow. Judging from the blackish-blue tone of their skins, they must have all frozen to death.
That's creepy.
On closer inspection, some were missing body parts. Now I was frightened.
Yeah, this is sort of frightening me for some reason also, so he ain't the only one.
But I still had to keep going. Before exiting the level, I was really hoping to see something resembling the previous forest animals in a living state. And sure enough, I did. It It was a creature much like the beaked sloth, except this thing had white fur and was more like a beaked gorilla. It was walking very slowly when I saw it, but I was happy to at least see something alive. However, it didn't stay that way for long. A pack of raptors, who must have sensed that something else was still alive,
What the hell?
rushing in from the right side of the screen. The beaked gorilla didn't stand a chance, as one of the raptors immediately lunged at it and ripped open its back legs. These winter raptors acted far differently from their temperate relatives. While the other raptors only attacked while hunting prey or when provoked, the winter raptors seemed to have all gone insane. They attacked everything in sight. One was running back and forth, clawing at nothing. Even the noises they made sound different, more high-pitched and enraged. As I left this second segment, I saw two raptors fighting to the death. They were both covered in injuries, and one of the raptors had been blinded in one eye. I took a screenshot, but I didn't stay to see who won the fight. I only had to get through one more segment before I could go back to the board screen.
So guys, sorry I'm not talking that much. Like I said in my part 1, I'm not gonna talk that much. If I could find a way how to show my face, you guys will see the face that I'm doing, but yeah.
But in this segment, I was no longer in the winter forest, but instead a very empty grassy plain with a bright gray moon in the sky. The pleasant music from Winter Forest Part 1 had returned, and immediately I started to feel dread. This is going to sound crazy, but it's the absolute truth. The game made this level from one of my memories. After a long stretch of nothing, I reached a lake, and then the moon moved down from the sky and began to hatch like an egg. When it did, a curled-up humanoid figure fell into the lake as the moon halves quickly disintegrated.
The hell?
I heard a splash when it hit the water, then a moment of silence. Then the screen began to shake, and a new creature emerged from the
What
water.
the hell is that?
And thus I was introduced to a monster I call the Moon Beast. This was the only screenshot I took, as I was focusing all my concentration on winning the fight, and it was the most difficult fight yet. Stronger than any of the previous bosses, this creature could have been hard to take down even with Godzilla, and with Mothra, it seemed nearly impossible. I suppose I would consider myself fortunate that the beast lacked any attacks like Gigan saw, because if it had, I would never have won this. I barely had 3 bars of health when I finally killed this abomination. But what happened afterward is hardly what I could call a reward. I've been trying to keep my promise and suppress this memory for years, but it seems as if I have to get it off my chest. This was a very painful memory for me, but the game already knows about it. I think you should too. I'll just tell you the important parts, because I don't like bringing this experience back into my head unless I have to. Back when I was in middle school, I had a girlfriend named Melissa. She suffered from some kind of mental disorder that caused her to go into episodes. When she was in an episode, she would stand or sit perfectly straight and still, and her face would instantly lose any expressions she had before. She would speak very clearly without any hint of emotion. When it was over, she would start trembling and sometimes bury her face in her hands, then remain silent for several minutes. I can't really convey the feeling it gave me in words, and I won't try. You had to see this in person to understand. But despite this, she was a very kind person, and I cared about her dearly. We liked to hang out in a field at night and look at the stars. But one night she didn't say anything to me at all. She just stared directly at the moon, trembling. I tried to talk to her, but she suddenly sprung up and ran right into traffic. I tried to stop her, but I was too late. She got hit by a truck and was killed that night. I looked her right in the eyes when the wheels went over her neck.
Oh,
That
fuck.
sentence always haunted me. I know that the game knows about this, because after I defeated the
Imagine that happening. Fuck.
beast,
Oh, fuck. This give me the chills.
this happened.
Oh, fuck. That just actually scared the fuck out of me for some reason. Okay, this actually sort of scaring me just coming to think about that. But fuck. I'm just making that shock eyeballs. Oh, fuck.
After that, the game went back to the board screen. It was all I could do not to burst out screaming, and my hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the controller. I knew the game was going to test me if I kept playing, but I had no idea.
The fuck? Someone here? Yeah, my mom just got here. I will just pause the video and just tell her to not enter the room because I'm recording. Or I'll just continue a bit.
Doing what it just did. I could feel my brain going haywire as I asked myself, did the game just read my mind? That didn't seem possible. But what other explanation was there? It was then that I could no longer deny what now seemed obvious. The game is alive. And not only that, it also can establish some kind of mental connection with the player. And yet, I couldn't convince myself to stop playing. I don't know if it was the game messing with my mind or just my stubborn curiosity. But even with the previous revelation, I really wanted to see this through to the end.
Gonna pause the video for 1 sec. Okay, guys, I don't know if you guys can hear my voice or not because my mom just called. And, I will end the video here and I'll do a part 3. But, anyway, see you guys.